This is everything you need to know before visiting the Parthenon and the Acropolis in Athens. How to book tickets, what time of the day to come, which entrance to use, what to see first, how not to waste your time, and how to actually enjoy one of the most important historical sites on planet Earth. Welcome to the Acropolis in Athens, Greece. This place is incredible, but it's also very busy, horribly confusing, stupidly hot sometimes, slippery when wet, and very easy to do wrong. So watch this video properly, because if you don't, you'll either queue for hours, get denied entry, or completely exhaust yourself before you've even got to the top of the hill. Before we start, a lot of people get the terms Acropolis and Parthenon mixed up. The Acropolis is the name of the citadel that sits on top of the hill. The Parthenon refers to this building right here, the most famous building in the city. First things first, tickets. You need a timed entry ticket, and you'll need to buy it from the official Greek Ministry of Culture website, which is on the screen right now. Tickets are date and time specific, and prices vary slightly depending on the season, but expect to pay anywhere between 30 and 40 euros depending on the time of year. The Greek government has discontinued the old combined ticket, so you now have to pay separately for each site. That's annoying, but it is what it is. And this is important. Do not buy tickets from third-party websites that promise skip-the-line access. Some of these sites look very official, professional branding, government-style language, but they have absolutely nothing to do with the Acropolis. All they do is buy the same ticket you could have bought yourself and sell it back to you with a markup. There is no skip-the-line ticket, there is only timed entry. And these timed tickets are strict. You get a 15-minute window either side of your time slot. Miss it and you're not getting in. Arrive up to 30 minutes before your allotted time, just in case. The best time to visit the Acropolis is first thing in the morning, as soon as it opens at 8 AM, just like this. Why? Because it's cooler, definitely a lot quieter, the lighting is better, and you'll avoid the massive tour groups that start arriving in the middle of the morning. In summer, this is non-negotiable. Midday here is absolutely brutal, and you don't want to be in a city in the sky when it's blisteringly hot outside. The second best option is later in the afternoon, when temperatures drop and the crowds thin out. In winter, like it is right now, you can sometimes get away with simply just turning up, buying a ticket at the booth or one of these ticket machines, and walking straight in. But I wouldn't rely on this during peak season. There are two official entrances to the Acropolis, and which one you choose matters. The north entrance is already halfway up the hill. Therefore, it's an easier, shorter climb to the top of the Acropolis. But it's also where the tour groups enter, and it's also the entrance used for accessibility and the lift to the top. It's a lot busier, but far less physically demanding. The south entrance, near Acropolis metro station, is a lot quieter, and you'll get in quicker, and the walk is definitely more scenic. But the climb up is steep and relentless. You'll pass more ruins on the way, so if you're physically fit and not in a rush, it's a much more interesting route up to the top. Once you're inside, I recommend that you make a beeline straight for the Parthenon. Don't be tempted to stop and take photos yet. You'll walk past everything again on the way down, and you'll have plenty of time to capture everything. Trust me on that. So now you're at the top of the Acropolis, you'll see the jewel in the crown of Athens, the Parthenon. This is it. Built in the 5th century BC, this is the most famous building in Greece and one of the most influential structures in human history. Even today, it's astonishing. It's currently undergoing restoration, which means there's a lot of scaffolding and machinery in places, but that's been the case for years. It takes the shine off it a little, but it's still pretty incredible. They say of the Acropolis where the Parthenon is, that there are no straight lines. The columns curve slightly to correct optical illusions, making the building appear perfectly symmetrical from below. It's subtle, but once you know, you can't unsee it. Also, look out for the ancient temple pediments, which are surprisingly still intact and very detailed. Not bad for almost 2,500 years old. Take your time here, as it'll get busy with tourists and it might take you a while to snap that perfect shot or take that perfect video. Take a walk over to the Greek Flagpole, which flies majestically over the city. This is where you'll get some of the best distant views of the Parthenon, plus sweeping panoramic views over the entire landscape of Athens. This bench right here is also one of the best photo spots on the site, so take your time and help others take pictures here. Good karma goes a long way. Next up is the Erechtheion, one of the most unusual buildings on the Acropolis. This is where you'll find the famous Caryatid columns, the sculpted female figures supporting the roof. The originals are in the museum. What you see here are replicas, but they're still stunning. On the other side, you'll find the Pandroseion, a ruined sanctuary that houses the most famous olive tree in the world, Athena's olive tree, said to mark the spot where Athena won her contest with Poseidon to become the city's patron. As you move along the main walkway, you'll pass the temple of Athena Nike, dedicated to the goddess of victory, and the monument of Agrippa, a massive Roman base that once supported statues. This stretch is unavoidable. It's literally the path you walk to reach the Parthenon, and it offers excellent photo opportunities, especially looking back across the city. It is also, however, a bottleneck, as tourist groups generally congregate around here, and it can be difficult to get a clean shot of the place when entire groups of people refuse to move out of your way. Scattered around the plateau are various other foundations, walls, and remnants of ancient buildings. If you're using a wheelchair, the main path here is perfectly flat, and there is a lift at the north entrance that can bring you up. However, most of the other areas and ruins are inaccessible once you leave the main route. On the southwest slope, you'll see the Odeon of Herodes Atticus. This ancient amphitheatre holds thousands of people, and has been beautifully renovated and is still used today for concerts and performances. You can actually attend shows here, and watching live music in a 2,000-year-old theatre is pretty special. It's pretty amazing that they built this place all without modern machinery, and from every angle it's stunning, almost bordering on scary. Nearby is the Theatre of Dionysus, considered to be the first theatre in the world. This is where ancient Greek drama was born. Tragedy, comedy, the whole lot. It's historically massive, even if it looks fairly understated and unimpressive by today's standards. Just standing in the middle, you feel the history of the place. As you descend back down the hill, take your time and explore the ruins you skipped earlier. There's ancient sanctuaries, ruined foundations, weathered statues, and amazing viewpoints that you rush past on the way up. There's plenty of signs and informational boards telling you what everything is, and I advise that you read them because otherwise you won't know what you're looking at. On the way down towards the south entrance, you'll even see this collection of columns and statues, definitely worth a few minutes to explore before you head for the exit. Overall, you have to visit the Acropolis once in your life. Athens is a beautiful city, and you'll love every minute that you spend here. Definitely add this to your ultimate bucket list. Okay Nate, I'm sold. What do I need to do? Well, you need to come here to the Acropolis. Please buy your time tickets from the official website, from the ticket booth at either entrance, or from these machines that look like cash machines. Make sure you plan your trip here meticulously, as it's easy to get wrong. Remember, these time tickets are strict. You get a 15-minute window either side of your time slot. Miss it and you're definitely not getting in, and you won't be getting a refund. Try and book your tickets for first thing in the morning or later in the afternoon. Absolutely avoid midday in the summer, you will burn to death up there. Avoid third-party skip-the-line sites, they're not official, and you'll be paying a premium for the same tickets you could have gotten from the official website. choose your entrance wisely. My personal recommendation is to enter via the north entrance, head straight to the Parthenon, explore everything at the top, then walk down exploring everything else and exit via the south entrance, where you can either visit the official Acropolis Museum or jump straight onto the metro at Acropolis station to get you to your next destination. Is there anything else I need to know? Yes. Before you go, check the weather. This site is miserable in extreme heat or when it's been raining heavily. Bring water, sunscreen and a hat, especially in summer. You will need all three. The Acropolis opens at 8 AM every day, but closing times change depending on the season, so always check the official website before you go. Large bags and drones are forbidden. The site is heavily guarded by police and the military, so there's no way that you're getting away with either. Wheelchair access is possible via the lift on the north entrance, but this must be arranged in advance. And finally, check out my Athens City Guide, the only guide you'll need to have the most amazing time in this ancient city. Thanks very much for watching, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.